Let's talk about The Dead by James Joyce. This is the last story of the collection The Dubliners, and it is, as I told you, different from the other stories. First of all, because it is longer, much longer. It is actually three times as long as an average story in Dubliners. But also because it is more complex and full of new themes and metaphors. So we could say that The Dead is an epilogue to the collection, but also a sort of bridge towards Joyce's next works. So let's start by explaining the meaning of the title. The meaning itself refers to the general theme of the collection. Because if you remember Evelyn and even the other stories that we haven't read actually, but the general theme is that of people who are physically alive but spiritually dead. So let's talk about the story now. First of all, the setting, the time and the place when this story takes place. Well, it takes place at a house where two old ladies live, and they are the Morcans sisters. So these two old ladies are the aunts of the main character in the story, who is called Gabriel Conroy. Gabriel is these two ladies' nephew. It appears, we understand that he is the favorite nephew actually, and he comes to their house accompanied by his wife, Greta. Right. So he goes there because the two sisters are giving a party, an annual party over Christmas. We are not told what day it is exactly, but we might think that it is Epiphany, and not by chance did Joyce choose this special day to set his story. So Gabriel and Greta go to the house of the two old aunts, where a party is has been organized. So what happens in the story? Well, nothing much actually. The party is like any party you could think of. So there is some music, people who are singing, dancing, and there is a dinner. And we understand that this is an annual party. It is given every year in the same periods, and the same people are invited. So it looks as though these people repeat the same actions every single year. They are caught in a sort of routine which emphasizes once again the paralysis they are stuck into. Every year, Gabriel is asked to make a speech. And it seems that the speech worries him, and he thinks about what he has to say since the beginning of the evening. He's rather nervous and anxious. Anyway, the speech is quite a success because people applaud when he has finished, and because he actually mentions some very important topics. So the first one is the ladies' hospitality. Because Gabriel thanks his aunts for welcoming all these people in their house, and he underlines that hospitality is a trait of Irish people. Also, he focuses on the importance of rejoicing the present, and especially the importance of appreciating the people who are alive around us instead of focusing on what is the past and on the people who are dead. So, even though the speech, as I told you, is appreciated by the people there, Gabriel still is not happy. He feels, he keeps feeling uncomfortable. And this is a feeling that has accompanied him right from the beginning of the evening. So he keeps feeling out of place, inadequate, nervous, anxious, and this happens on many different occasions over the night, but especially when he dances with a woman who is a fervent Irish nationalist. And this woman accuses Gabriel of being too cold and distant towards the Irish cause. Gabriel feels, I mean, he tries to give reasons for his position, but he feels he's unable to defend himself. And so when this dance is over, again, he feels inadequate and uncomfortable. So at this point, we have something important happening, a turning point actually in the story, because somebody starts singing an old Irish song. And on hearing the music, Gabriel's wife, Greta, feels upset. I would say transfixed and lost in her thoughts. Obviously, Gabriel is unable to understand what has happened. We also have a clear idea at this point of his feelings towards Greta, because he looks forward to being alone with her back at the hotel to spend the evening and the night with her. However, when they get back to their hotel room, Greta is still quite sad, and she even bursts into tears. At this point, she decides to tell Gabriel what happened to her. And she explains that while she was listening to this song, she started thinking of a boy she was once in love with. And the name of this boy was Michael Fiore. This young boy died at the age of 17, so very, very young. And unexpectedly, Greta explains that she says, actually, I think he died for me. What is the meaning of this? Well, this boy apparently was kept waiting outside her house under the rain in the cold. And since she couldn't go out and reach him, he stayed there for a very long time. He got ill, and unfortunately, eventually he died. So the music was that of a song that Michael used to sing to her. And this is why on hearing the music again, she became very, very sad. Gabriel is unable to comfort her. And in the end, Greta falls asleep, while Gabriel is obviously unable to rest because all these things that the wife has just told him keep turning in his mind. And he realizes that he has never felt in his life such a strong passion like that which Michael felt for his wife. So he feels he's not moved by any strong and powerful feelings. So he has this impression that he hasn't got much value in Greta's life, even though his feelings for her are deep and true. He feels again inadequate. So at this point, again, something happens because he hears a noise and he realizes, looking outside, that it has begun to snow. This is a very, very important moment because snow is Gabriel's epiphany. Why? Let's try to understand. Well, actually, when he looks at the snow, he reflects on the fact that the snow is falling all over Ireland. So it is falling both on the living and on the dead. And he imagines the snow falling even on Michael Fury's grave. So it becomes a sort of link, something that connects the living and the dead. So it might seem quite a gloomy, a sad idea, a sad image, but in fact it is not. If you think that snow is not everlasting, there will be a time when spring comes and snow will melt. So what I mean, the meaning of this is that there will be a moment for Gabriel to start again. There will be a moment for him for a new beginning. So, and he finds he is at peace with himself, with Greta too, because he's not judgmental towards her. He does not resent her for keeping these secrets. And in doing this, he shows how his love is real and mature. So, the story, unlike all the others, shows a positive attitude. So, first of all, because we understand that there is a possibility to escape, to break free from paralysis. There is the opportunity of a new start, a new beginning. And also because of what Gabriel said in his speech, because he focused his attention on hospitality and he identifies this virtue as belonging to the Irish people. And also because he describes a beautiful landscape, the landscape of Ireland being covered by snow. And the image that he gives to us in the end is really, really very poetic.